Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys Jerry Jones sends direct message about Trey Lance's future. Jerry Jones wants to see more out of Trey Lance, but his spot on the Dallas Cowboys 53-man roster is guaranteed. While speaking to reporters on Tuesday, August 20th, the Cowboys team owner said that he wants to see more out of the former number 3 overall draft pick, but also mentioned that he'll be on the roster when the regular season begins. Via Nick Harris of the Cowboys' official website, "I'd like to see us really be able to have our quarterback depth," Jones said, via Nick Harris of the team website. "I'd like to see him get some more work in this weekend, that would be number one. Do I need to see any more from Trey Lance? The answer is yes, but he's going to be on the 53. The 24-year-old Lance was acquired prior to the end of last season's preseason from the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for a fourth-round draft pick. Although Lance didn't appear in a single game during his first season in Dallas, the team obviously has high hopes for him. The Cowboys gave up a fourth-round draft pick for him, and if Dak Prescott does leave in free agency next offseason, Lance could have a crack at the starting job. Lance has received the majority of playing time during the Cowboys' first 2 preseason games, with Dak Prescott not seeing any action and Cooper Rush throwing just 6 pass attempts. The 6'4" quarterback has gone 44-64 for 339 yards, 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions with 78 yards and a rushing touchdown. He's currently competing with Rush, who has served as the primary backup quarterback in recent seasons, for the number 2 quarterback job behind Prescott. With the Cowboys' preseason finale on the horizon against the Los Angeles Chargers this week, it's very possible that Lance not only starts, but plays the entirety of the game. Head coach Mike McCarthy complimented Lance for his most recent efforts in a 27-12 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. Lance led a 13-play, 88-yard drive on Dallas' last possession of the game, concluding with a 2-yard rushing touchdown. He finished the game with a 98.1 passer rating after throwing for 151 passing yards and a touchdown with 0 interceptions. That was a clear improvement over the preseason opener when Lance threw for 188 passing yards with no touchdowns and a 72.0 passer rating. "I thought we improved today starting with Trey," McCarthy told reporters after the game. "The third down conversions, we missed a couple there. But 2 14-play drives, that's incredible for preseason football. It just shows you his understanding and confidence, and he just needs to continue to play. He needs reps, he needs to play in live games, particularly in the drop-back phase, because he's doing a very good job managing everything else. So I thought he clearly took a step today." While Lance may still be competing for the number 2 job, one thing is for certain, his roster spot is locked in entering the 2024 season. Report: Dallas Cowboys signing defensive tackle Linval Joseph. According to the mothership, a deal with Joseph isn't quite finalized. Just noting the officialness of things. The Dallas Cowboys have been far more active in roster acquisition while at training camp in Oxnard than they were for the entire offseason leading up to it. This is how they like to do business. Last week, Dallas traded for defensive tackle Jordan Phillips and signed pass rusher Carl Lawson. Adding more bodies to the rotation along the line is never a bad thing, and the Cowboys have been vocal about wanting some more depth since seeing what they have to work with while at camp. Notably, the Cowboys have explicitly expressed a desire to add another body along the interior. Wednesday evening we got the news that they had signed Linval Joseph. Joseph has bounced around a bit over the last few seasons, but he notably spent a large chunk of time running the middle of the Minnesota Vikings defensive line. You are correct in assuming that it was Mike Zimmer's defensive line. The two were together a total of 6 seasons in Minnesota. Linval joins Jordan Phillips once again as the two were together last season with the Buffalo Bills. Together, they will be charged with helping fortify the middle of the defensive line, which we entered camp assuming was Motzie Smith's primary responsibility. It still seems like a leap to assume that the Phillips trade and Joseph signings are representative of anything specific towards Smith. Remember that over the last 2 years, the Cowboys were dependent on one player specifically in this regard in Jonathan Hankins. Having multiple bodies is a very good thing through the battle of attrition that is an NFL season. Cowboys could strike quarterback trade with Vikings, analyst. The Dallas Cowboys face plenty of decisions at quarterback, and these go beyond a new contract for Dak Prescott. Last season, Dallas carried 3 quarterbacks on the team's roster, with Cooper Rush and Trey Lance joining Prescott. During the preseason, Rush has continued to be the backup quarterback behind Prescott. All this has CBS Sports' Cody Benjamin labeling Lance as a potential trade candidate. The Minnesota Vikings make a lot of sense as a potential destination for Lance. The luster has worn off Lance quite a bit in recent years, with the former number 3 overall draft pick struggling to secure the top backup job for the Dallas Cowboys, Benjamin wrote in an August 15, 2024, story titled, 10 NFL Players Who Could Be Traded Next, Kenny Pickett, Trey Lance among potential candidates to be dealt. Still, at just 24, the ex-San Francisco 49ers prospect possesses long-term upside that could intrigue needier teams at the position. Dallas might just as well retain him with Dak Prescott entering a contract year, but considering the Cowboys are also letting Lance play out his rookie deal, it's possible they've already seen enough. If the Cowboys are to explore a trade for Lance, what teams are the likely landing spots? Benjamin identified the Vikings, Los Angeles Chargers, and Miami Dolphins. Let's focus on the Vikings, who could be a fit for several reasons. The most obvious is rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy is slated to miss the entire season after undergoing surgery to repair a knee injury. Secondly, there is a bit of an added bonus as Lance is a Minnesota product. Lance had a standout career at Marshall High School in Minnesota before moving on to North Dakota State. The one thing that appears to be a certainty is Lance will make the Cowboys' final 53-man roster, even if he is unable to unseat Rush for the backup position. This takes releasing Lance off the table. Owner Jerry Jones has already declared Lance will be on the roster, regardless of how the rest of the preseason shakes out. I'd like to see us really be able to have our quarterback depth, Jones said, per DallasCowboys.com. I'd like to see him get some more work in this weekend, that would be number 1. Do I need to see any more from Trey Lance? The answer is yes, but he's going to be on the 53. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Trey Lance? Leave your opinion in the comments.